major blow was dealt to a northeast Minnesota mine company Tuesday when their permit for a proposed copper nickel mine was revoked. It happened in New Range's permit to develop its North Met copper nickel mine, formerly known as Polymet. That's near Hoyt Lakes. Now, tonight, Northern News Now's Larissa Millis spoke with an Iron Range author and historian who explains why he thinks this isn't the end for the project.
Mining is as culturally important to northeastern Minnesotans as hunting and fishing are. That's according to Iron Range author and political expert Aaron Brown. He says that's why decisions like Tuesday's revocation of North Met's permit cause a lot of emotional reaction, no matter how you feel about their proposal.
It's all been kind of tied into this big, powerful cultural symbol. And as long as that's the case, people are going to take it very personally.
Minnesota State Representative Dave Liz-Lagarde, a DFLer who represents Aurora, says he and his constituents are shocked by the decision.
We are beyond disappointed. We are frustrated in Northeast Minnesota for this to happen at this moment, the way that it did, blindsiding, is just it's unacceptable.
Northeast Minnesota's U.S. Representative Republican Congressman Pete Stauber says the decision is a political one.
Make no mistake about it, this was a political decision by the Biden administration. This was their desired outcome to stop mining in northeastern Minnesota.
As for how the decision will impact mining as a whole, Brown says he's not sure it will.
I don't know that there's an immediate big impact on mining overall, but it is my read on it is it's another reminder that there are a lot of stakeholders in these projects.
Brown says he would suggest North Met go back to the drawing board and include those other stakeholders, namely the Fond du Lac Band, whose reservation is at the center of environmental concerns for the project in conversations regarding the project earlier on in the permitting process. In Duluth, Larissa Millis, Northern News Now.
New Range can submit for a new permit if they'd like, though they have not yet said if they will. In a statement last night, they said they will be reviewing their options and continue to look for ways to develop the mine in a safe and environmentally friendly way.